Today we have a fabulous speaker with us, Gretchen Bright, which we'll introduce shortly. We also want to hear about your success stories. Then we will have our main speaker presentation. After that, we will share some active job leads with you, give you some partner updates, and follow up with some upcoming Job Club topics. Now, our mission at Job Club is to provide a positive environment for job seekers to network and learn best practices for the job search. We meet on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and you can find the schedule of topics at our website at ukalumni.net/Job Club. A quick introduction to our Job Club facilitators team. We're so appreciative of this team to bring you Job Club twice a month. My name is Amy Gamblin, and I'm the Associate Director of Alumni Career Services. We also have Caroline Francis, who is the Director of Alumni Career Services, also joined by Diana Doggett, the Extension Specialist with the UK Cooperative Extension Services, also Nicole Waite, who is the Employee Specialist with UK Steps for Temporary Employment. Now, behind the scenes, we have so many wonderful people to make Job Club possible. We have Suzanne Smith and Sunny Sather from the Fayette County Extension Office, as well as Queen Sullivan, Christy Kaufman, and Lindsay Cottle with the UK Alumni Association. So thanks for this awesome team for supporting us. Now, Job Club is currently in hybrid format, so we are in person. We're also virtually. We do encourage you to come in person at the Fayette County Extension Office. Sometimes employer recruiters will show up. It's also a great opportunity to network with others in the group, and many jobs are secured by networking. We also welcome people who show up virtually, those who aren't able to come in person. So those of us joining via Zoom webinar, where there is a chat box, a moderator available for you. Also Facebook Live, which is view only, where there is no chat box. You can receive our free Job Club resource pack on our website for Job Club. It's linked in the newsletter that you'll receive after Job Club today. We also highly encourage you to join our LinkedIn group. That information is also on the screen and in the chat box. Now, many employers will send job leads that will close before the next Job Club newsletter goes out. So do make it part of your regular job search, checking it 2 to 3 times a week to know the wide variety of jobs that are out there. Employers and recruiters are always welcome to come to Job Club here, where they may have a 1-minute spotlight to share active job leads with the group. And again, watch your email later today for those job leads that have been shared with the team. Now, a few items to take note of. Please note some here are conducting their confidential job search. So let's please be respectful of privacy for that job search of others. You can check out our job search related articles included in our Job Club reminder emails. And also the recordings and the PowerPoint slides will be available to you at ukalumni.net/Job Club. We want to welcome our first timers here today. We are so glad that you are here. If you are in person with us for the first time, please raise your hand. Welcome. Yay. If you are a first timer online, also let us know in the chat box that you are a first timer. We want to welcome you here as well. Now, please note you will receive a follow-up survey later today, and this feedback will be placed in our notification system for future programs. Next, we want to hear some success stories. So this doesn't have to be a job success. It could be, have you set up a recent interview? Maybe you've had coffee with someone that you're networking with that led to some job leads. Or maybe you've updated your resume or LinkedIn profile. So we always love to hear how you're being proactive in your job search, and we want to celebrate that with you. So let us know in the chat also if you have any success stories that we can celebrate with you as well. So any success stories here? Yes, go ahead. We're getting the mic to you. It's not working.
I can just tell you.
Yeah.
I've got an interview today at 1 for the STEPS job at UK.
Awesome. So we have a participant here today who has an interview today
Testing.
for at UK. So congratulations. Yes, go ahead.
It's working.
Good morning.
Excited to say I went through round 1 of a UK job interview and expecting to hear close of business today if I get to go through round 2.
Awesome. Yay, congratulations. All right, others in the audience here or
Online, we've had someone with 3 interviews last week and lots of networking.
congratulations. One right here, Lindsay.
I got a like part-time contracting or tutoring job
Awesome.
thing.
Part-time contract job. Wow. So lots of successes out there. That is terrific to hear. All right, others? Okay. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We will celebrate with you. All right, so we have a wonderful guest speaker today. Very excited to introduce Gretchen Bright. Gretchen is the manager of marketing communications and engagement for Big Ass Fans. She's held various roles within the company since beginning her career there in 2012, from lighting sales rep to operations manager to chief chaos coordinator. Love that title. Though not born and bred in Kentucky, she bleeds blue and has a dual degree from the University of Kentucky in corporate communications and ISC. She currently sits on steering committees for the emerging leaders of the Bluegrass, Leadership Lexington Youth, and on the board of local nonprofit shelter Greenhouse 17. She is most proud of holding the title of the fun aunt to the best niece and 2 nephews in the world. Her love languages include cooking, traveling the world with her husband, pardon me, that she met in a capstone project at UK, and snuggling up with their 60-pound lap dog, Layla. So welcome, Gretchen. Looking forward to your presentation today.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Okay. I told y'all the technology, I could do this whole thing on mute and not know. So wonderful. Well, I'm very excited to be here, especially as a UK grad, go Cats, to be here meeting today with the UK Job Club. So very, very excited. Thank you so much for the invite. And I'm excited to talk to you today about creating a powerful personal brand. So today we're going to do a quick introduction. We'll discuss what a personal brand is, why you need a personal brand, the benefits of having one, critical elements of an effective personal brand, and then how to create one. There will be different times during our discussion this morning that I'll ask questions. Feel free to jump in on the chat and answer, or if anybody wants to pipe in live time, I believe there's a microphone. Happy to engage, make this a conversation, and there will be time for questions at the end, but if you have a burning question during our discussion, please feel like you can jump in on the webinar chat, and I'll do my best to keep up with them. So we will jump right in. First, when we are talking about creating a personal brand, you want to start with why. Creating a powerful personal brand is essential for establishing your reputation and standing out in today's competitive world. It's not who you know, but who knows you and how they know you that counts. So we'll start by discussing some intentionally curated brands of some names that you most likely know. What do you think of when you think of these people? It can be quick words, a quick sentence, just blurt it out. What do you think of when you think of LeBron James? Tall, yes, much taller than me. Maybe dedicated, maybe the greatest, maybe athletic. Okay. One of the best athletes. Yes, Amy. Entrepreneur. Absolutely. We'll move on to our next person. Oprah Winfrey. What do we think of when we think of Oprah Winfrey? Rich? Yes. Tenacious, powerhouse. Ooh, I love it. Influential, creative. Free car giveaway. I'd love a free car. Boss. Great. I'm loving the engagement on our webinar chat. Okay. Let's round this out with Taylor Swift. And mind you, I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm put her in because my niece, who's a sophomore at UK, asked me to. Diana, genius. Love it. Talented. A superstar, brilliant business person, authentic. I love it. So if we think of these different attributes, these celebrities haven't just come by these attributes on a whim by chance. They have intentionally curated these personal brands that they want to portray to the public and to potential consumers of their brand. So that way they can capitalize on their personal brand to create income streams for themselves, whether it be through books, through tickets, through t-shirts, through sneakers, whatever it might be. It is a way that they have been able to capitalize on their personal brand. Now, there is no way in the path of my life that I will ever become LeBron, Oprah, or Taylor. However, there are ways that we can decide how we're going to portray our own personal brands to be able to capitalize on our own personal brands as we go through our careers. So, what is a personal brand? It is, in a nutshell, how others perceive your skills, talents, and qualifications. It helps define who you are and what you hope to achieve in your career and industry. So your personal brand will reflect your personal values and your work ethic. And at the end of the day, it's unique to you and is a vital part of your reputation in the workplace. Why do we need a personal brand? Quite simply, a personal brand will help differentiate you from competitors. So if you're an individual seeking a job, which I'm guessing most of us here are since we're here at Job Club, your personal brand can help distinguish you from other personal candidates that are competing for the same role. This personal brand of yours will let you promote your reputation and your skill sets to attract potential employers through job posting websites, social media, or networking, which I've heard that several of you guys are doing. That's a great way to promote your own personal brands as you're trying to advance your career. So let's talk about the benefits of having a personal brand. First and foremost, you can promote yourself online with your personal brand. Your brand can help you direct your networking activities on social media to improve your web presence. The internet is an incredibly powerful tool for connecting with potential future employers. So with your personal brand message, you can make more high quality connections. I would hope that everybody here is on LinkedIn. Being able to promote your personal brand on LinkedIn to potential recruiters is a great way to catch their eye when they're looking for the best candidate to fill their role. Second, to build trust and authority. So if you are able to build your own personal brand successfully, it can help you inspire trust from your audience and position you as a thought leader within your industry. And that might take time, but that's okay. Recruiters on social media are more apt to find you and request your opinions as a thought leader in your industry. And it positions you as an expert in a specific niche or a field, which can, in effect, attract potential employers. So I believe earlier we'd had someone who was wanting to get a more data entry or quality assurance role. Being able to position yourself as a thought leader in data and quality is a great way to be able to attract recruiters who are wanting to recruit for those sorts of roles because they know that that's your specialty, that's your niche. Third, improving your networking skills. There's never such a thing as having too much practice in networking. And sometimes it can be a challenge to promote yourself at a networking event. It feels like you're putting yourself out there. We as humans have a hard time putting ourselves in the position to be vulnerable. So it can be tough, but the more practice you get, the more you put yourself out there, the easier it will become. So when you develop your personal brand, you have the words and the tools in your tool belt to be able to describe what you do clearly and effectively to those that you're meeting. So it tells people that you're meeting who you are, what you do, and what skill sets you bring to the table. And you're able to discuss your accomplishments and goals while networking with potential future employers. And it could be maybe you're not looking for a job right now. You're just out networking. But a year down the road, someone you meet this week or next week might be looking for someone to fill a role, and they'll think of you saying, ooh, I met this person at this networking event that I think would be a great fit for that role. Let me reach out to them because I got the chance to meet them. And that ties in with advancing your career. When you create a brand that centers around your professional goals and accomplishments and your skill set, you're able to better identify new opportunities to advance and develop. So written elements of your personal brand can serve as a reminder to the objectives as you search for a job to figure out what you might want to do in maybe not your next job, but your next job. And it will help you craft your resume to fit your personal brand and your skill set, your cover letter, or as you prepare for your interview. And you can also, once you figure out your personal brand, it could help open doors to opportunities that previously you didn't know that you would be interested in, but now you realize you might want to pursue. So we'll talk about critical elements of an effective personal brand. Number one, cannot hammer this home enough, is authenticity. You cannot fake your brand. If your brand is who you are, you would be doing yourself a disservice to have a fake brand that isn't true to yourself and who you are at your core. If you fake your own personal brand, it will only lead to inconsistencies in how you present yourself, and people will catch on sooner or later, and it's going to bite you in the butt. So always, always, always start the process of creating your personal brand from a place of sincerity. Number two is your values. Your brand values are your characteristics. and the traits that people associate with you. So if you think to yourself right now, how would my coworkers describe me? How would my friends and family describe me? Those could be your values. And depending on your industry, your profession, your audience, those characteristics could be certain aspects of yourself that you want to amplify. And we'll jump into the chat again for an interactive portion. For different types of professions, what values do you think you would want to have associated with these sorts of professions? So when you think of this profession, what do you think of? We'll start with lawyer. Knowledgeable. Moral character, I'd hope so. Silver-tongued devils. So yes, with lawyers, caring about the client, absolutely. We would want lawyers. We would think about lawyers as being well-spoken, good with facts, argumentative. At the end of the day, they're there to win an argument, right? So you want them to be argumentative. Let's move on. How about a doctor? What values do we think would be associated with a doctor? Laura, empathy, yes. Expertise, skilled, compassion. Oh, I love it. Great bedside manner. Y'all, we've had great medical care in this bunch. Wide scoped knowledge. Wonderful. Let's move on. How about an engineer? What values or attributes do you think are associated with an engineer, regardless of what type of engineer they might be? Pragmatic, logical, mathematically minded, thinks outside the box, proven experience, quantitative, precision. We must know a lot of engineers. Great. And last but not least, how about a salesperson? For anybody in a sales type of role, what values would we have associated with them? Persuasive, likability, trustworthy and honest, yes. Having a background in sales, I think of being a relationship builder and being easy to talk to. William, observant, love it. So with this, we can tell that based on different professions, there are different values that we associate with these roles. And likewise, when we are thinking of our own branding, how we're choosing to brand ourselves, we can decide what values and characteristics we want to amplify and broadcast out to potential employers and our fellow colleagues about who we want to be seen as. Number 3, integrity. So building a personal brand is not solely about obtaining success. It is also about defining and sticking to your principles and not allowing external forces to compromise your integrity. So when you're clear about what you stand for, and likewise, what you stand against, you can base your decisions on more than just a monetary value, That can also go for when you're job hunting and trying to figure out what type of companies you want to associate yourself with, what type of companies you want to work for. Do you want to work for a company that makes clothing, that builds buildings, that is a medical research facility? Once you're able to find your values, then everything else tends to fall into place. Number 4, charisma. So a good brand should make you stand out from your competition. After all, many people are good at what they do. So you have to ask yourself, what about your story makes you unique? What makes you stand out? And that can be a tricky question at first, but only you have lived your life, and only you bring those specific experiences and skill sets to the table. And your personal brand is a tool that's able to help show potential employers and fellow colleagues how you're able to bring those skill sets to the table. And number 5 is trustworthiness. So you can build trust in those around you by delivering the work you say you can do, and also keeping consistent values and principles. The result is better opportunities in both your personal and your professional life. If you are trustworthy, if you say you do what you do, in every group of people, there's always the one person who says, hey, I'm going to do this. I got it. I'll take care of it. And then they don't deliver. So if you're able to build on trust and people can know that they can depend on you, that if you say you're going to do it, you're going to get it done, you will build trust both personally and professionally. So let's discuss how to create your own personal brand. Number 1 is figuring out who you are. This might sound like a strange proposition, but how well do you know yourself? And in today's fast-moving world where folks are so go, 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 so active, many of us forget the time for introspection. We forget to take the time and reflect and focus on ourselves because we're so busy giving to others that we forget about us. But to build a solid brand, we have to take time to reflect and be introspective. It's vital. So I challenge everybody to take out a piece of paper. This is not something that we need to put in the webinar chat unless you feel called to, but write down a couple questions that I'm going to give you to either think on now or think on later as you're developing what your personal brand might be. And your first question is, what do I struggle with? And what you struggle with could be networking. It could be analytics. It could be speaking up. For any strength people have, they could have equally as many things that they might struggle with. Question number 2 is, what drives me? What gets you fired up, gets you excited, gets that fire in your belly that fuels that passion? And it could be a type of work. It could be a status. It could be your title. It could also just be cold hard cash, and that's okay. Question number 3, what kind of tasks drain my energy? And this can help you decide what not to associate with your brand, what not to pursue. Me, I know that every successful organization needs a top tier accounting and finance team, but that is not something that is going to be my skill set to an organization, because while I can balance books and I can understand a P&L and I can figure it out, it drains me. It's not my strong suit. And last but not least, what do people compliment me on? And not all of us take compliments as well as others. I'm one of those who doesn't do well with compliments. But if we think about it, the things people compliment us on are most likely our strong suits, some of which we might not even think are our strong suits ourselves, but others notice them. So what do people compliment you on? And this exercise can feel uncomfortable, and the honesty and deep thinking associated with this are integral. So be honest with yourself when you're answering these questions. Thank you for putting those questions in the chat, Amy. And if you struggle to answer any of these questions, feel free to reach out to family or friends or colleagues. I hope that each and every one of you have colleagues, whether they're people that you work with, whether they're your former classmates, your current employees that you work with day to day, or a former colleague that you might know from another organization. Try asking them for their candid and honest feedback, people who you know are going to shoot you straight no matter what, and be ready to hear that feedback. So none of these answers to the questions are set in stone, and they can change over time as you learn and grow and as you flex different muscles and grow your skill sets. So the answers to your questions today most likely are going to be different than what they are in 3, 5, 10 years down the road. But once you know yourself better, you can start working to project an image of yourself that you want to portray, and then start strategizing your career based on that. So number 2, consider how you want to be known. So once we figured out who we are today, we can start to focus on who we want to be tomorrow, next month, next year, 5 years down the road. So let's not focus too much on things we want in life, but on the habits required or the skill sets required to get to be the person who gets those things. So we can start to look at, say, the industry you want to enter. What knowledge, what type of reputation and talents and skill sets are required to succeed there in that industry? So think big, but break down those larger goals into small, achievable steps so we can measure progress as we go along. Because if we take small steps, it's easier to see our success as we go, knowing that we are going towards the big goal. And this could be, if we're looking at an industry or a specific type of job, me, someday, I want to be a VP of marketing at a company. I don't know where yet, but that's my goal. So I'm able to look on LinkedIn and see different job recs for that type of role and look at the requirements associated with that type of job. And I can look and say, ooh, okay, I've got experience doing this, this, and this, but ooh, I need experience doing budgeting. I need experience doing X. I need experience with MBA is required. Ooh, I don't have my MBA. So guess what? I decided this past July to start my online MBA process while working full-time. And dang, sometimes I think I'm crazy, but I did it because it's going to help me get to my goal and help fill out that tool belt. So that way, later down the road, I can be the candidate that a potential future employer wants. So define your niche. So your aim is not to try and please everybody with your brand. Sometimes we might step on some toes and we might not be for everyone, and that's okay. It's a waste of our energy and resources to try to please everybody with our personal brand. Instead of trying to do that, let's focus on figuring out our niche, working to appeal to your particular audience, whoever that might be, whatever industry you're in, whoever you're speaking to, how can we appeal to them? So different companies and recruiters, they're more likely to engage with someone who specializes in solving a specific problem rather than someone who tries to do a little bit of everything. So if you think about in your home, if you have a leak in your house and you have water coming through your ceiling because you've got a leak somewhere, are you going to call a handyman or are you going to call a plumber? Chances are you're going to call the plumber because they have more experience in that specific field. Likewise, if you need knee surgery, are you going to go to your general practitioner for your knee surgery, or are you going to go to an orthopedic surgeon? I'd hope we're all going to go to the surgeon because they have more skills with that. But you get my point. When looking for people with specific niches for specific roles in an organization, professionals and recruiters will look for those who fill that specific niche to get the best candidates. So how can you figure out your niche so you can be that best candidate someday? Number 4, optimize your social footprint. Once you've honed in on your specific audience, ask where they can be found and what they're looking for. And that could be different depending on the industry. Once we've figured out where we can find these people, whether it be on LinkedIn or job forums or networking clubs, let's start building our online presence to cater to them. And remember, wherever you are promoting yourself online, consistency is key across different platforms. So if we are a certain type of professional on LinkedIn, let's make sure we are still posting professionally on Facebook and Instagram or TikTok. I'm not cool enough to have a TikTok, but let's not be posting embarrassing photos and posts elsewhere. So we're keeping our brand consistent across all platforms, because folks will look at your social media footprint across different platforms when they're considering you as an employee. So let's make sure we're ensuring that our overarching tone is similar across all platforms and who we want to be. Now, do you need to post on Facebook about going to a networking event? Not necessarily. You can still post about your family and your friends and the things you're doing. Just maybe don't post embarrassing photos. So the internet remembers everything. And finally, network like crazy. Again, there's no such thing as too much networking or knowing too many people, having too many connections, because you never know where it might lead you. The point of networking is not to try to get a massive following on your social media. It might be impressive to see that blue check mark on people's social media or to have thousands of followers. But if the people that you are connected with aren't actually engaging with you, then what's the point? So that's where networking is key. Building relationships, building connections are key So our aim is to create those connections to foster communication. I can give you an example. I had a wonderful professor at UK, Isa Russell, who reached out to me about getting a tour for her students to come see Big Ass Fans. And of course, I jumped on it. I said, great, how about we do a tour? We'll do a panel of young professionals and see where it goes. They can talk about their careers. That relationship, that one instance of her reaching out and saying, hey, I'd love a tour, I'd love to get to know you, has now led into a multi-year relationship where we've not only become colleagues, but friends that can count on each other for, hey, I've got this sort of event, I've got this sort of speaking engagement, I'm looking for this type of person. Do you have somebody in mind? So now we're able to work as partners to help each other be successful and help build each other up and help us both excel in our careers. So always, always, always network like crazy any chance you get. So in summary, a personal brand is your story. How will you choose to tell others your story to further your career? Thank you to everybody for your time this morning. I'd like to open the chat up for any questions, comments, confessions. Happy to answer any now or later. I have my email listed here on the screen.
Thank you, Gretchen. And we will ask first here in person, does anyone have a question that they would like to present to Gretchen? She gives some fabulous details and examples of creating that brand. Any questions in-house here? What about online? I think you did such a fabulous job. You gave us so much to think about and the importance of taking the time. And it does take time to create that brand, to think through it. So we want to thank you on behalf of the Job Club for presenting. It was so informative, and we hope to have you back again someday. Thanks, Gretchen.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're going to move to the conclusion of our program today, and we'll go to who is hiring. So that means that if we have someone in the audience that has a job lead, we would welcome you to present that. I don't think we have anyone here present today, but if you are online, then we'll give you permission to talk and present that job lead. And if we have that, please raise your hand. We have one, I believe. Okay. Okay, you could talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
We are great. Do you have a job lead for us to present?
Yes. Yeah, I'm Kaylin Parrish. I'm currently the Chief Operations Officer for Divine Spirits. It's right off the Lyle Industrial Road near the Distillery District in downtown Lexington. And we are a boutique bottling and finishing house. So we are looking for interns as well as future employees to do production line work and also any data entry. I believe I heard someone earlier say something about data entry and quality assurance, and we are having a little bit difficulty right now kind of streamlining how we do barrel inventory when we get bourbon barrels in and how that lines up with TTB filing, FET taxes, and essentially just a numbers guru kind of accountant role all around. I know that's a lot that I'm putting on, but we're new, and so we really just kind of need help in terms of numbers and inventory right now.
Great. Sounds like a wonderful opportunity. Would you be able to email that job lead to us at jobclub@uky.edu?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So anyone else that has a job lead that would like to post that, and we will make sure that that goes into our post-meeting email newsletter later on this afternoon. So again, it's jobclub@uky.edu, and we will include that with all our other job leads. And now it's time for us to talk about our job facilitators and their programs, and we'll begin with the Cooperative Extension Service. As many of you know, we are here at the Fayette County Extension Office, and we're very appreciative of that for an in-house opportunity so that we can meet and network. It really, really is beneficial to do that. So if you're in the Central Kentucky area, we invite you to do that. There is an extension office in all 120 counties throughout Kentucky. So we just encourage you to stop by your local extension office, see what's happening in all the program areas, 4-H and youth and horticulture and ag and natural resources and family and consumer sciences. There's lots to do, not only for you to learn, but you can volunteer. And we can't do without our extension service for a wonderful educational resource. Human resources, we encourage you to feel free to visit the UK Steps online. And that is for those that are in the chat box and you want more opportunity, we have that information in our chat box, but that is a wonderful resource. If you're looking to get into UK, there are part-time opportunities available, and Nicole Waite is our facilitator partner who can help direct you in that decision. And so just reach out to Nicole Waite, or make sure that you go to UK Steps online. And there will also be leads from UK Steps in our newsletter later on this afternoon. UK Alumni Career Services, if you would like some more one-on-one help with resume writing and interview tips, LinkedIn, job strategies, the whole gamut of job search, there are opportunities for you to get some one-on-one coaching. And so this information is in your packet if you're here in person, and it is also for you online. So there's a link for you to explore for that. So we encourage you to do that. Yes.
Yes, and just an announcement from the Alumni Career Service Office. We're having a webinar this Thursday, Preparing for Semi-Retirement, Passion, Purpose, and the Practical. Why People Fail Retirement, on Thursday, September 14th from 12 to 1. And I will put the registration in the chat.
Yeah. Thanks so much for mentioning that. I was with someone yesterday who is just a candidate for that. They're just trying to think about what's next. And this is what this seminar is going to be about. What's next after perhaps you have landed that plane in your original career? There's still so much for you to do and discover. So make sure you write that date down. It's this Thursday. Okay, our next job club will be on September the 26th, taking a new path. And it will be presented by Cardina Janicki, and she's the Career Developer Manager with Murphy and Associates. And so this presentation is really along the lines of the seminar this Thursday, but it covers tips for developing your marketing materials and plan if you're transitioning into a new career. So she's going to help you focus on recognizing those transferable skills and that will take you from one job to another. So don't miss that one. And I just want to mention that today we have free headshots. So if you paid attention to our marketing, you knew, and we've got a great group here who are going to receive that valuable resource. So on our next presentation on the 26th, we're offering free resume reviews. So bring your resume to the Fayette County office if you live in this vicinity. And following our presentation, we're going to have experts here in the field of HR and business owners, and we will be taking a look at your resume and giving you some pointers. So be sure to take advantage of that as well. Thanks for coming. We always appreciate you taking the time out, and for those of you that are in person, we welcome you to stay. Obviously, you get headshots today, but it is an opportunity to network and to share with one another about job strategies. So thanks again, and until September the 26th, we'll sign off from Job Club Kentucky.